So today we've got our AF quiz. We're going to be drawing some letters. These instructions for these letters are very specific. They relate back to an old document I'm going to show you here. This was a author, Albert Dürer, who wrote a book known as The Just Shaping of Letters back, I believe, in the 1700s. And he goes through and spells out exactly how letters are to be drawn using geometric construction. So if you're interested in this, I've put this link on the website. It's on the Gutenberg.org website, and you can search up on the just shaping of letters. If you want to get some extra credit for the course, you can always come in here and do one of these other letters. You can earn a C or an E. First, we're going to start off. I'm going to give you this handout. You can look at your handout. You get the F handout, and I'm going to show you exactly how to draw the F. I'll give that away for free, and then you're going to have to draw the A and turn that in so you can earn an A. Go ahead and close this. Over here in AutoCAD, I'm going to start a new drawing. There's always the things that I do with the drawing. I'm going to turn off the view cube, turn off the grid. We will need 3 layers for this drawing, and I'm going to go ahead and make those first. We're going to have 3 layers. The first one is called outline. I'm not worrying about my layer format, naming format. I'm just going to create names that reflect what the layers are. So here we go. Outline. And then I'm going to have another layer called guides. And finally another layer called fill. These layers each have their own color. The outline is color 4. The guides is color 1. And the fill color is color 6. At this point, I no longer need this Layer Properties Manager exposed, so I've already created my layers. I'm just going to go ahead and close that. Now, looking closely at your handout, what you'll notice here is that the F is inscribed into a 30 unit square. And then if you look carefully, both at the instructions that were given by Dürer, but also if you kind of divide up this sheet, what you'll notice is that that 30 unit square is divided into 10 columns, 3 units wide each. And then most of the offsets and most of the inputs are based on that setting. So I'm going to remind you of a setting that we can use here to help that work better. Down here in the tool palette, we have in the drafting tools, we have a snap setting, and I'm going to go ahead and show that grid, and I'm going to turn on snap mode for the grid so that it will click and touch the grid as we draw. But I need to make some adjustments. So I'm going to fly this out, snap settings. And what I want is my snap settings to be set to 1. And I want my grid spacing set to 3. So every third snap will show up as a grid line. My grid is much larger now, and I can use these squares to help me draw my F shape. I'll zoom out a little bit. There's my origin. And I'm going to come back on the Home tab. Starting with the Guides layer, I'm going to draw that first rectangle. REC enter, 0, 0, enter, 30, 30, enter. And you can see now I've got 10 columns here inside and 10 rows. And what I need to do is, looking at the sheet, I can yellow out the 2 number 30s because I'm done with that information. And I'm ready to use some of the other information. I'm going to go ahead and draw my vertical guidelines. Starting over on the far left side, I can see some dimensions. Number 3, another number 3, and then a pair of 14s, one at the top and one at the bottom. Because this is 3 units away from my edge, I know that because that's what I set my grid to be. I can use that grid snap setting right here in order to draw the line. L, enter. I need to make sure my O snaps are not going to be in the way, so I'm going to turn those off. And I'm going to draw one line. Enter to end, enter to start the next one, draw my second line. Okay, so I've got those two vertical lines. Those use the dimensional information there, the little 3's at the top of the F. I can yellow those out with my highlighter. I'm done with that information. The next two lines I would want to draw would use an offset of 14 units. We have to be very careful where we're offsetting from and what we are offsetting. So right now on my screen I have three objects. I have a rectangle and I have two lines. But if I need to offset this edge of the rectangle coming this direction 14 units, I'm going to need to explode this rectangle first. So I'm going to select it, explode. Now I can offset 14, enter. Click once and again for direction, and I can immediately, I don't have to start over or anything, click once, go the same direction. And I've got these two new lines here. We can yellow out the 14s now. We're done with those.